I do like that GKS because I feel like it probably has a bit more range than the Cordite, and it's one of the weirdly the only SMGs I would even consider putting a 2x on. The GKS, I just feel if you got that long barrel, it plays at mid range pretty good. It has like surprising depth, like more depth than you would probably think heading into it. So that's something to consider. You know, 'cause sometimes you do want that faster fire rate, especially if you pick up, you pick up an ABR, you can't run, you don't really want to run like a SWAT with it or another 5.56. Can't find a KN or Rampart or, so if you want to play that 2x range, then GKS is a decent option. I mean, I'll still take a SWAT over it if as far as 2x goes, but if you're playing in that short to mid range, it's got such a fast fire rate that oftentimes if you got a good shot and you're connecting, especially if you have a long barrel and it's looted out with all your perks, your attachments, you can dominate fights. You'll roll up on you roll up mid range on somebody with a Rampart with that GKS 2x, and it's like you're gonna win that fight 80% of the time because your fire rate's gonna be super fast and his fire rate's not gonna be with the Rampart, you know. But if you get into that 3x range, I would kinda, that's when you would default to a longer range weapon. I wouldn't. I kind of like running the 2x on it when I'm carrying something of distance like a sniper or an ABR or a swordfish, and then I'll run like a 4x or something on that gun. But most of the time, GKS, Cordite, Red Dot, Elo, whatever you like, I think they're just a class above. And I think there's an argument to be made for the Spitfire here, because from 5 feet away, the Spitfire probably owns both the Cordite and the GKS. But it's so erratic in its shooting, it doesn't have as much distance, and it's got smaller clips. So you're in a fight, you often feel like if you're on a hill fight where you're rotating guys and you could really use that second kill without having to reload, that Spitfire is not going to be the gun for you. I just noticed I got the Rampart MK2, which I already had, so it's definitely, and I've noticed too here with the street racing camos, there's still tiers from last operation that are being opened in here, so maybe if you didn't get certain guns or you didn't have MK2 on a certain gun, you can still get it here. I'm just glad they finally let you open them. And that was definitely the way to go. I mean, I would have been, for as hard as I grind the game, I would have been a little peed off if they didn't let me open those crates. Can you imagine 650 plus crates? It would be like, hey, what's the point of grinding the game? I do like that they are releasing different operations, maybe a little slower than I'd like, but I also understand that I probably play more than the average player. So for the average player to blow through these tiers, it's going to take him a while. For me, I'm probably going to finish it relatively fast. So I wish in some ways they catered to players like me a little, but I understand I'm not the majority. I understand that, some people just, they don't get a chance to play every day. They get on 2-3 times a week and they're looking for, just relax a couple hours, shoot some bodies, have some fun with their friends, and they grind out the tiers as they go. For somebody who's grinding out the game, it's like you're always looking for those unlockables, those missions. You're always trying to do above and beyond to, because it adds fun to the game. It adds missions. Sometimes the game can get a little stagnant, or you play too much and you're kind of bored. So it is nice to run some games and kind of try to unlock new stuff. You know, I've been on my eternal quest for the Reznov character, and I didn't get him at first where a lot of people got him. I think at first it was easier to get him with a launcher when the game launched, because you got to get that 200-meter kill. But you know, most people now, if you use a launcher, they're not going to stay in the helicopter unless they're inexperienced players. But by this stage, nobody really is. So it's like a lot of things have to break your way for it to go right. You got to get that top 5 finish. You got to get the hat to begin with. You know, it's not always in the same spot. It can spawn rather at the fountains at estates, or at the circular middle area at raid, or in the back fountain at Asylum. And I've only discovered that recently. I had read it was available at Asylum, but I always kept checking that middle fountain, the one that has the blood in it, and I could just never find it. And finally I was able to find it in the other fountain at Asylum, in the front right corner. If you're looking at Asylum facing it's in the front right corner. So it spawns there sometimes. So I like all those little side missions. The running joke, or the running gag in our group, is that I've taken a lot of bodies with me because we always land at estates to try to pick up the hat, and sometimes the game doesn't break your way. You don't have a 200-meter weapon, or you know, just something that you can use for that kill, or you end up picking it up off a body out of somebody's body bag, and you know, it's late in the game, you don't even have 200 meters left in circle. So it's going to be one that I keep chasing. I definitely want to unlock him. So far I would say probably Woods has been the hardest character, just because the first part of it's fairly easy, just landing at the campsite, picking him up, flying for that 1 minute. That part's easy, but it's the part that you got to win the game. You know, winning's not super hard, not super improbable, but a lot of things still have to go right. You know, unless you want to play one of those games where you just pick it up and you hide the rest of the game. I'm just not that type of player. I have a hard time kind of just sitting into a building. I might do it. I mean, I might do it for Reznov if I picked up the 200 kill. Oh, there you go. We got another switchable MK2. Switchblade MK2 rather. Yeah, I didn't have this one. That's nice. Not a big fan of the Switchblade, but some people like it. Some people seem to use it. I just think there's better options out there.
You want that wrapped, or you gonna wear it out? Very nice.
I wish, in a certain sense, the characters. There you go, Epic Afterlife ABR. Wish in a certain sense that the characters' achievements were tied to your gameplay. So if I was playing with Hudson, or if I was playing with, pardon me, if I was playing with Torque, it's like, how many kills do you have with Torque? What have you done with Torque? Do you have this amount of wins with Torque? I think it'd be a funner way to kind of unlock guys, unlock tiers, or unlock accessories, just based by merit, and it would certainly give me more incentive to play with certain characters that I don't play with often. There's just certain guys that I just don't end up using, you know. So if I'm using a guy all the time and I've kind of maxed out his achievements, it would be like, you know, regular Call of Duties where you kind of, you know, you've unlocked every skin for that gun, and it's like, okay, well, let's move on to something else. Let's unlock the skin for the next gun, or let's finish out the class, or you know, whatever it is. But I think if they did that for characters here, it would just force everybody to play with different ones. Most of the time I just tend to default to Woods because he was probably my hardest character. So it's like you're looking almost for that encouragement to just play with different people. But I think, you know, most people, they customize one person, maybe two, and they kind of go back and forth. It's not like you alternate character every day. You kind of gotta feel for who you like and his catchphrases and
Solid.
you know. So I like that. I like kind of
The best stuff.
being able to customize each dude. I just wish
Recondition that myself.
that we could customize them based on
Sweet.
your
Right.
achievements with them. But instead we got a reserve
Feeling good?
system and we are closing in. We're about 300 crates in here. And
Why so surprised? Told
it's
you I had
taken way longer than I anticipated. There we go, we got a new jump pack, Sea Storm. I don't have that one yet, so we will equip some of this once we're done.
almost time to
Nice to know though, I've blown through 300 care packages and I haven't maxed out the operation yet. So they are adding a bunch of stuff. I mean, it does give people the chance to grind here.
put it to good use.
That Make It Rain thing, it better be spectacular. I've gotten so many of them.
Pretty sweet. Right. It is what it is.
This video is probably a bit longer than most people want to watch. I get that.
And here's your receipt.
I wish I could go a little bit faster for you guys, but
I'm almost certain that isn't right.
it is what it is. We open them one by one. Do you ever play and like you're opening like, I don't know, not even a huge amount, like 15 crates, and you're like 10 in, you're like, ugh, I can't do this, I just want to jump back in the game, it's too long.
Careless.
Some people won't let them accumulate for that reason specifically, because it takes this long.
It is what it
Got the pyrotechnic again,
is. Yield it to you.
another epic afterlife, and here we go, surprise party again.
Give up this nickel and dime stuff. It is what it is. Solid and dependable.
We are picking up a bunch of doubles.
And here's your receipt. Only the best for you. Wow, they still make those?
I also wish that that dude who's talking right now,
Why so surprised?
listen,
Told you I had the
just listen
best
to him for a sec.
Pretty sweet, right? Solid and dependable.
He's got like 10 comments. Like, just shut up, man. Just let me blow through these crates. I don't need a comment every time I'm opening a crate. When I'm opening 600 back to back. That's like 600 comments minimum.
What else?
Like, imagine if you were like just driving and you had like a backseat driver just, and like by the time you get to your destination, he's made 600 comments
I could use one of those.
on your driving style. Turn left. Hey, you should pull over in the next lane here. Hey, turn your flasher on.
Use.
Hey, did you see that car ahead of you? Slow down, man. Just slow down. You'd be like, by like the 5th comment, you'd be like, dude, just shut up. Just leave me alone.
Appreciate you.
This guy's just, I mean, he is polite. He does say, I appreciate
Still make those?
you, I appreciate it.
Very nice.
That's kind of nice, but at the same time, to hear it 600 times,
Why so surprised?
I don't know if,
Told you I had the good stuff.
I don't know if they really planned on somebody opening 600 at a time. It's
Nice.
probably not a common problem. But I do watch a lot of pro feeds, and sometimes like I've seen guys with way higher totals, like 800, 1,000.
Pretty sweet.
So there are people that are really, you know, grinding this game too, and there are people that are just flat out way better. And so, you know, they just blow through tiers really quick. So accumulating crates isn't that long. I just wish there was a faster way to open them all. Like, how about you let me open the 600 all at once,
Appreciate you.
and then give me like a sorting system, so I can sort, okay, well, these are all the legendaries I got, these are all the rare cards I got, and then you can just move on. I don't need to individually analyze
I sell a lot of these.
600 stickers, you know?